Have you ever thought of turning your books into international bestsellers?
Then you're just like us.
Because we are German authors and just starting the adventure of going international.
And we want to take you along for the ride. Hi, we are Andrea.
And Freya.
So this is the first episode. It's actually more than the first episode. It's the first step of something really, really, really big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a really big journey, and like we said, we're gonna take you along for the ride because we are on our way to go international. And because we aren't yet, Andrea, we aren't yet. Where are we from?
We're from Germany, and in Germany we're actually pretty successful, and I think it's almost 2 years ago that we decided we wanted to translate our books into English.
What's special about me and Andrea is we are both self-publishing authors in Germany, and we are fairly successful, but we get to that. And we share this dream, this absolute dream that we are not just gonna be, German authors, but international authors, which means that we have this dream of translating our books into the English language, which we both love and adore, and to be not only German authors but global ones, and
global authors who can be read
cool,
by
right?
billions of people, and not only by those few ones who read German.
Yes.
So, and in this first episode, we want to just introduce ourselves and tell you something about what's this journey in this podcast, what we intend to do with that podcast.
Yeah, so Andrea, why don't you start? Tell us about who you are, because Andrea is actually a very, very successful German self-publisher and someone I admire a lot, and she's going to tell you why.
Oh, okay. So I'm Andrea, and I publish under 3 pen names, which are WiLK. It's WiLK in English. It's going to be my first pen name. I'm going to publish in English as well. The second is Andrea WiLK and WiLK. And I write romance, thrillers, and non-fiction books for authors. And I've been doing that for more than 5 years now. I've started writing 5 years ago, and I've published so far 22 books. 2 more are written and about to be published or edited. And yeah, what makes me successful besides that, because I think having published even 1 book makes you successful, but I have a lot of readers. Like I was just thinking about, because I was just doing some research for a best-selling badge, which is really important in Germany, which is the Spiegel bestseller. And I was just looking that up, and then I got that question on Google, what makes a book a bestseller? And the answer was you have to have sold 100,000 books to be recognized as a bestseller. This is not necessary to get that badge, but it's necessary to be just seen as a best-selling author. And I was like, okay, well, I have sold that many books.
Isn't that amazing? Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, yes, it is. I think what makes this such a big success to me is that I'm making a living from writing.
And a really good one.
A really good one, yes, a really good one. And I get to live my dream, and I get to live my dream every day. And this podcast is actually part of that dream. So,
yeah.
Freya, tell us, why are you a successful author?
Well, actually, for the same reasons you are, even though my numbers are not, just as high as Andrea's, but I can also say I've sold tens of thousands of books, and in the German market, which is, for a self-publisher in Germany, not an easy feat. And so I write fantasy and crime books or thrillers, and I'm loving this. My pen name in German is actually Freya von Korff, which is a really cool name, which is actually my own because I come from a very old family, and so I have this really cool name that I just use as a pen name. And yes, I have my books have been fairly successful. So I've sold tens of thousands, and I have had Amazon bestsellers in numerous categories. And it's basically why I'm saying I'm a successful author is because of the same reasons as Andrea. You know, I'm living my dream. You know, I have another job though. I'm a lawyer in real life, kind of. But I was able, you know, this year or last year to cut back my hours of being a lawyer because, you know, part of my income
but you're
is
not a lawyer.
Yeah, I am. I'm just not an attorney. I have a law degree. So, yeah. Okay. I'm just going to say this in English because what the heck? I'm a judge. And so I was able, you know, to cut back my hours as a judge significantly last year and to create part of my income now solely from being an author, which is amazing. And exactly, like Andrea said, it's living my dream. And so I'm here, and I'm here on this amazing journey because I want to take this dream further. Because, as you might hear, I love the English language, and I have spent some time abroad and learned to speak it half good, I guess. And so it's always been a dream of mine, you know, to be published in the UK, in America, in Australia, whatever, you know, where people speak this wonderful tongue. And so here
yes,
we are.
Yeah. Yes, and I think it's not only to be published in those English-speaking countries, but also in every other country. Because
exactly.
Even in Germany, I read so many English books, and there are people in I don't know, in countries where the book market is a lot smaller than in Germany, and they have to read English books because there are just not that many books in their own language. So I think getting into the English market is this can be huge. At least that's what we're expecting.
Well, and it's not just that. It's also because we both feel very strongly about the stories we are telling, and we really want to share those stories with as many people as possible. Because there is so much heart of ours in those stories, and we just want to be able, you know, to share this not with people who accidentally happen to speak German, but, you know, with many more. So, so this is exciting.
I think that's a really important point about us, because the books we are writing, they're special. They are.
Yeah.
I know Freya's books and she knows mine, so we can really say that because there's so, as you said, there's so much heart in those books, and we're so connected to the stories and to the characters, and we just love what we are doing. We're not doing this to get money out of this, even though, of course, we like that and we want that, but that's not the main reason. We're really into writing, and we're not writing to make money, but we're writing and we make money of that. That's like a consequence of doing what we love.
Yeah,
so,
and I just realized, you know, when you first met, we very quickly started to read each other's books, you know, and it made our friendship from the get-go so very special because we looked right into the soul of the other and recognized something, you know, and I could tell by Andrea's books how much love and soul is in her words, and
that's so beautiful.
And I connected to this so much. So
me too.
And yeah, I think this is what writing is all about at the end of the day, you know, to connect with people. And and there are so many people in the world, so many amazing people, and we just want to reach you, and this is why we're here. So
that's why we're here, right? But why are we doing that podcast?
Yeah, and but we also, of course, have, you know, something to say on the other hand. So we're not just, you know, talking about ourselves here. So we got some infos for you that you might be interested in.
And what I think we should tell you something else before we get into that, why we're doing this, because in Germany I have a podcast and a YouTube channel, and from time to time, actually quite often, Freya is in that podcast, and we have like our own show on that podcast. It's Fran, which is just the first two letters of our first names, and we didn't come up with any great name there. We have here,
and it's also because we both are absolutely in love with Fran Drescher. the actress and her iconic role as the nanny. So, and we just figured, we both, apply so many positive things to Fran. This is why we are Fran.
And we kind of put it into something feminist, but then we didn't get any further, so we just left it by Fran. But we are used, you might tell, we are used to doing that stuff in German. So when we decided to translate our books into English, it was so clear that we would have an English podcast.
Yes, because, we wanted to share, our experiences and our struggles and our successes, of course.
And we wanted to talk English.
A lot. Actually, this is the funny thing. Even though Andrea and I are both German, a lot of the messages that we send back and forth are actually English because we are practicing. And
yes, for that.
And it's sometimes funny because sometimes it becomes a mishmash, when we're out of our depth.
Is that?
Yeah. No,
that's actually a German word. It's a mix-up. So you just learned a German word. Just write it down. Mishmash.
Yeah, that's a great word to first go on, but
I'm not even sure that it's in the dictionary. But
I don't
maybe.
think so. But it's something very commonly used. Every German knows what you mean when you say mishmash. Oh my God. Okay, so German lesson done.
We could actually integrate that into every episode. One word you definitely never need in German, but you learn it from us.
But okay, but I think we should not, do the words like everyone does, like love and whatever.
I said words you'll never need.
Yeah, and there are lots of words that you never need in German.
Freya knows all of them because they're actually in the law
book. Yeah. I'm a lawyer. I know all of them. A lot. Okay, we digress. Andrea, so what are we going to tell people in this podcast?
Ooh, we have so much to tell you. And we decided that we'll put the episodes of that podcast into seasons. And the first season is actually something we want to give to you. Well, the whole podcast is something we want to use the whole podcast to give people something. But that first one is for authors who want to translate their books into German.
Exactly. So the thing is, we know a lot of things about the German book market because we have been doing this for a few years and we have been fairly successful. So, and the German book market it's actually really special because it's huge. It's like because Germans, right?
I once heard that the American book market is as big. The readership in the American book market is as big as the one in Germany. Even though Germany has I think it's a fourth, a quarter.
A quarter of the population. Yeah.
A quarter of the population of the USA.
So this makes the German market, of course, interesting. So if you are an international author and you think about, conquering another market, the German market is definitely something to consider because Germans read. We love to read.
Yes, and I think Mark Dawson and Joanna Penn, they picked Germany first for translating their books. It was the first, yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Yeah. So this is why we are going to talk to you about the German market here and what makes it different, from maybe the English-speaking market. So everything we find out about the differences between English and German-speaking book markets, we are going to put in this podcast and tell you all we know so that if you are deciding to take your books international in German, that you are very well prepared. So tag along, guys.
And combined with that, we have an offer. I would actually say an offer. You could call it request, but I think it's more of an offer because we don't know fairly anybody in the English market. So we want to connect. We want to get to know you. And
because one of the things that Andrea and I learned, doing publishing in Germany together or, alongside each other is that you're much stronger when you connect with people and if you network, because then you can learn off of each other, you can support each other, you can, be there for them when they are disappointed or can encourage them or can celebrate their victories. And this is something that we both value beyond measure. And so we're calling on you, English-speaking authors who want to go international. We are here, and we would love to meet you.
And because it's really difficult to connect over podcasts, because you can't even comment on that podcast when you're listening to it on, I don't know, Apple Podcasts or something, we decided to put up a Facebook group, which is going to be called Becoming an International Bestselling Author, right? Exactly like this podcast is called. And there we want to talk to you guys. We want to connect. We want to exchange our wisdom and our knowledge. And with all English-speaking authors, but we thought that people who want to translate their books into German may be interested in kind of working together with us, like collaborating with us.
I'm like, okay. I'm intrigued.
Okay. And we thought, like, I actually read that in an article of a German author who has published his books into English, and he said that he connected to authors who had translated their books into German, and they presented the books of the other author to their own readership, so that Freya and I, we have a newsletter, we have a following on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube actually, and we can tell our readership, hey, there's a book that has been translated, or that's a great book, you could read that. And so just
we can, when it comes to, finding new readers, I think we can share, the readership that we have collected, so that the start within the German market would be actually easier. So this is, I think this is what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And for us, of course, we want to benefit from that, of course, because we're not only writers, but we're really into marketing and stuff as well. So we're self-publishers. We're indie authors, as Joanna Penn would say. We're aware that being successful as an author doesn't. It's not enough to write good books. You have to market those books, and I think connecting with other authors is one of the most important step here, especially when you're going into a new market. Because
exactly
when you find people there to help you and to tell you how this market works, and that's actually the reason we're kind of giving back with that podcast, because we benefited from the podcast from people like Mark Dawson or Joanna Penn, especially me, so much.
Me too.
And we think we can do that for other people as well.
That's kind of the thing, this is one of the lessons we have learned. I can honestly say I would not be where I am as an author, and I'm really happy in the place I am right now, if I hadn't met Andrea, if she hadn't made me aware of, for instance, Mark Dawson's self-publishing Formula 101, I think what it was called, and where he teaches about Facebook ads and building your self-publisher platform and stuff like that.
If you don't know it, we link to that in the show notes.
And so realizing that meeting people and benefiting from their experiences and sharing those with others in return is something that can actually transform your life. And this is something we are not done transforming, by the way. So we are still
we're looking for people who can transform us from German into English.
Exactly. So this is what this is all about. And if you're ready and you want to tag along, we would be more than happy.
So what's the plan for the next episodes, Freya?
So we actually have, made a little collection of topics about the German market. What should people who first enter the German market should know. And this is what we're going to focus on in the next over the next few episodes. And so if you
haven't decided yet on the total number, we thought that having a season would actually we would need like 10 episodes for that, but
yeah,
we're not settled on that.
So we're gonna talk about stuff like layout, like German
Book
ebook
layouts.
markets, like book cover design, stuff like that. You know, things that you gotta know.
Quality of the printings and stuff, because there are really differences between German and English books.
If you have never picked up a German book, please do, and smell them. They smell amazing.
Please.
They smell amazing.
But not one that, but not one that was printed in. We're actually already getting into topic.
I know.
But you see, we're really excited about this, and we have so much to tell you and so much to share.
So, ready to share with us? Then I guess we see you next time.
Subscribe to the podcast so that you will not miss the next episode. And in the show notes, you find the information on where to find us and about the Facebook group and our Instagram accounts. And please say hi.
Yes,
and,
please.
Please tell us who you are. And we're really, really, really excited about meeting you.
Yes, so we leave you to this and see you next time. We can't wait.
Have a beautiful day, and always remember you're good enough for living your dreams, and you deserve living your dreams.